Hi everyone, do you want to get into metal fabrication? If you do, I'm going to show you 5 bare bones tools that you need to get started. Stay tuned. So the first thing you're going to need is a welder, and you're going to have many different choices out there. If you're going to only get one and you want to go the cheapest way possible to start off your metal fabrication, the best way to go is definitely going to be a TIG welder. I can't recommend that enough. First of all, you're going to be able to get a better machine for less money nowadays than you could get a MIG welder, and it's going to teach you all the basics. If you can TIG weld, you can MIG weld or stick weld super easy. It's a lot easier to figure everything out once you know the basics of TIG welding. So I would definitely start there, and my personal recommendation would be to start with a small DC only TIG welder. They'll run you about $300 for a decent machine on eBay, Amazon. This here is a Miller Maxstar 150 STH. It's a small DC TIG welder. You don't necessarily need the Miller. This one I think I paid about $1,800 for it. I had a Everlast welder before, and I actually like that better. And I think that was only $300 shipped. It just felt better, it was easier to use, and it did exactly the same thing this $1,800 welder would be. So that's where I'd recommend to start. The next thing you're going to need is a 4.5-inch angle grinder. The brand isn't necessarily important, it's the size. 4.5 inches, easiest to find everything for, easiest for consumables. Actually, personally, I like the cheaper grinders better. I got this one at Harbor Freight. It fits in my hand easier, so my hand doesn't cramp up after a long period of time. So I think I paid $10 for this one, but it takes all the standard discs that all the other ones take. So that's all you're going to need for that. Okay, third thing on my list is going to be a good welding head. This is one area where you do not want to skimp on money. Do your research, find out safety regulations, try some on, see which ones fit you the best. If you're going to spend money on anything, spend money on a good welding hood. It will stay with you for a long time, and it will protect your eyes, because you're only going to get one set of those. You don't want to fry them out of your face. Okay, fourth thing on the list is going to be a good way to cut your metal stock. I chose this instead of a chop saw because from Harbor Freight this costs about as much as a good chop saw. I had a chop saw to start with. I wish I would have gone with this in the beginning because of one simple feature. When you tilt it up like this, you can put a table on it. This mounts like this, I believe. And when you have the table on it, you're able to cut plates, brackets, that kind of thing. So anything around it, it's a lot easier to cut on this than it is to cut with an angle grinder. Plus you're going to get a lot better, cleaner results. Also, when you cut stock with this, it's going to leave very little slag, so you're going to have a lot less cleanup in the end. Especially with TIG welding, it will keep your contamination down and prevent a lot of future problems. So I would definitely go with horizontal/vertical bandsaw to start with. It'll save you a lot of time in the end. Last thing on the list is probably going to be one of the most important things. You need to get yourself a good set of Machinist squares. I got this set on Amazon for I think about $30, and it is just as good as anything that's going to be out there for a lot more money. At work I compared them to a set of really high-end Starrett Machinist squares, and these were almost the same exact tolerance. They're going to be plenty good enough for welding. This will make sure all your work is square and that you're not going to have any problems with fitment later. When I was making this list, the biggest thing I wanted to show people is that you really don't need a lot to start making stuff out of metal, and the biggest thing that matters is when you are buying stuff to make things out of metal, that you spend the money in the right places. A lot of the stuff on the list is stuff I wish somebody would have told me to get when I first started. I wasted a lot of money, bought a lot of stuff I didn't need, and then ended up selling it in the end. So there might be other stuff that you're going to need, like clamps, hammers, that kind of thing, but these are going to be the 5 first things I'd recommend anyone to buy. If you buy these, you're going to have a solid foundation for anything else you get in the future. So stick to the list and you're going to be more than happy in the end. Good luck, everybody.